Hi, Tim.
Hey.
You got the kids to bed?
Oh, heck no.
Not a chance, huh?
No, I think they're out there watching American Ninja Warrior or Lego Movie, one of the two.
Hey, whatever works, right?
Yeah. So, my wife's at girls' camp for the week. You know, we just try to get by.
You don't have any girls' camp age girls, right?
No, my oldest is 10. I have 2 boys and a girl. 10, 7, and 5. The youngest is a girl. So, no, this is my wife's 3rd year going. 4th year. She went when we lived in San Jose. Then we moved from San Jose to Iowa. And she went the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd year we've been here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready
so
for
it's like a vacation.
Well, so she's getting released. Like, she's the Young Women's President since they redid our board 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, back in May, the bishop's like, all right, well, after girls' camp, we're going to release you.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, that's a long ways away. That's like 6 weeks away. Or 7 weeks, something like that. So she was like, I think it's worse knowing you're going to get released. Like, I'd rather know like 2 weeks before, a week before. So, and then now he's going to be out of town the next 3 weeks. And when he gets back, we're out of town for 2 weeks. So he actually can't even release her until August sometime, like the middle of August.
So it's just not happening. Give himself a long run.
No, not anytime soon. So, yeah. Yep. Oh, man. You ready for this? Who else we were waiting on? Where's everybody else?
I don't know. We'll see.
Right. I guess we do have 1 minute.
Yeah. We'll try to invite them again in case, just like.
Oh, here comes Emily. Okay.
Hi.
Oh, well, Emily's not the one I'm going to re-invite. Hi, Emily.
Good. Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. So you got the invite, obviously, so I won't go back and invite everyone else.
Okay. Yep, I got it.
Dragging their feet.
I know. This case this week is kind of hard to come up with problems, I think.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're dealing with a company that is like got customer service down to a T. I mean, it's
yeah.
I haven't even started writing my case study this week. It's just been one of those weeks.
I literally just finished reading it. Same thing. I'm like, I don't even know what to write about.
You guys have a hard time like these last couple of weeks before we actually get like a summer break. Because I'll tell you what, I am done.
Yes.
I am just
out.
I'm done. I'm ready just to be like, oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the point where I go, how much will it affect my grade if I don't do this?
So I had to take this academic internship class, and I totally did that because it's 1 credit, and I was like, okay, that 1 credit is affected. What do I need to get a C plus or a? Because it's not going my grade. That class is I mean, I can understand the importance of it if you were like if I was just talking and I was about ready, but I'm 30. Right.
You're so old, Tim.
No, that's not my point. I'm not trying to say I'm old. My point is that I mean, I've been working in my profession for like 6 years. I've been working like as a professional person for like 10 years, 12 years. I don't know why we have to do an academic internship. you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right. I'm gonna get off my soap.
I agree. You should get a. They should give you a.
They should just waive
What do
it.
they call that? Like, give you a waiver essentially if you've been working in the professional field for,
Because they're waiving my 490 class. So,
Is there?
huh?
Sorry, you're echoing. Hard time understanding.
Oh, maybe I got my.
It might be mine. Let me put a.
Is it echoing now?
No.
Oh, okay, that was it.
Jolie.
Just turn the
Just
volume
kidding.
down, Joey.
It's okay. Now, were you talking about your internship?
Yeah, I did wish I didn't have to do it. Like, I
Yeah.
should have just been able to waive that.
There is a waiver
Yeah.
that you can do. I just got done talking to my counselor because I don't need the credit hour.
No, I don't need a credit hour either.
Yeah. So I'm going to look. She's like, call the internship office. Did you say you already did the internship?
I'm doing it right now.
Doing it
Yeah,
right now. Is it-
for it, huh?
What's required for it? What do you have to
The
do?
1 unit, it's a heck of work. I mean, I was like, I'm scrambling to finish all this stuff. It's a lot of like networking and this. I mean, there's this big paper due at the very beginning, and it's worth like 100 points. And I was like, okay, if I don't do that, but I do everything else, I'll still get a B minus. Done. I'm not doing paper. Not doing it because there is. I mean, there's like. How many assignments? Hang on here. I have the syllabus up because I'm trying to finish all the other stuff. There is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 assignments on that for that 1 unit course.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah.
It's,
My-
yeah.
My
So-
advisor's like, call the internship office and see what all's required for the internship course before you submit a waiver request and see if it's worth it. But that sounds like it's worth it.
Worth it. Submit the request.
Okay. I will do that then. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
Because they're also waiving my 499B class, which is like a 1 unit writing class. I guess they're also doing away with it this semester or next semester, and I won't be able to get into it, or I couldn't get into it. So,
Right.
do we have? I think we have everybody. No, we're missing. Who are we missing?
Rachel?
Rachel, and I'll send her one more invite just in case.
Okay.
Rich on, by the way.
Is it me or does Jolie sound funny?
Yeah.
Okay. Your voice was like Princess Leia from Star Wars when she's wearing the mask. Big Han Solo. That's what it sounded like. If any of you are familiar with that.
Okay, at first that sounded really good and flattering, and then you said with the mask, and So,
You know when she's wearing? Have you guys ever seen that when she's wearing the mask and it augments her voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was good. A
You
good.
also saw Princess Leia. It's okay.
okay, is my face on your big screen the whole time, you guys?
No.
No? Okay, for some reason that's doing it to me, and I don't like to look at myself, so I'm just hoping you all are not having to look at me. So good to know.
Click
No.
on your little picture, and that should turn it off and switch screen.
Yep.
There you go. Done that a few times.
Okay.
So Tim, just before, I guess we should be getting started any second, but I decided to take my last 4 classes all in one bang. So that advice you had given me, I'm just going to roll it all out.
Look at that.
Really sad, right?
So you're gonna finish in December, huh?
In December. Yeah, I'm done. I'm
Me
cooked.
too.
Yeah.
I'm
It'll be
done.
rough.
I know I registered, although I can't get into 499A. I'm on a wait list for 499A. There's like 33 people on a wait list for that class.
Oh, wow.
So maybe they'll add a new one then.
I'm hoping because if I can't get into that and I have to go again so I applied for University of Iowa's MBA program, which starts January 19th.
Oh wow.
And if I don't get done, then I have to put it off until fall of next year. So I'm hoping that they'll open another class.
Yeah. That much waitlisted.
Yeah, 32 or 33 people last time I checked.
Mm.
All right, looks like we got everybody. Cool. Anybody want to volunteer to say a prayer? Real quick, can you guys hear the Lego Everything's Awesome in the background?
No.
Okay, just making sure, because it's really, I feel like it's loud. Hang on, I'm going to go shut the door.
Everything is awesome.
She was right on cue, too.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Sorry, did I have a volunteer? No?
I can say it.
Okay, thanks.
Father in heaven, we bow our heads in gratitude this evening for the opportunity we have to meet as a group. We invite the Spirit to be with us as we discuss this case and pray that we will learn those principles which we'll be able to apply into our daily lives. We are grateful for the bounteous blessings we enjoy, and we again invite thy Spirit at this time, and we do so in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so who wants to give us a quick synopsis of this case?
Isn't Rachel our synopsis lady?
I don't know about that, but okay.
Pathetic.
I'm still pulling it up because I had to just restart my computer as I do every time before the meeting. But so this guy named James McBride is the GM of the Ritz-Carlton in Washington, D.C. He's opening it up, and it's different than typically the way that they work with their new, or really any of the buildings. They have a mixed-use facility. So share it with a whole bunch of other things. But so this developer, Millennium Partners, with Brian Collins, the manager of hotels for that company, they want to say in things like, you know, what artwork goes in, etc. And Brian Collins particularly asked James McBride if they should revamp or do things differently because they have more opening hotels with them in the future. He thinks that their training process with their 7-day, what's it called precisely? I don't remember. What is it? Yeah, the 7-day countdown. Their 7-day training process, he thinks it should be longer because he wants them to open, not only having all the skills they need from the get-go, but also being able to have basically full occupancy instead of what they usually do, which is 50% occupancy, and then over 3-4 months they get up to 80%. So he has to consider what to do.
Okay. So let's see here. That was our synopsis. Okay, so what are the I guess what are the main issues? I know you kind of grazed over them, but what are some of the main issues with the case study? I mean, Jolie and I were both talking about how I think this is gonna. I haven't written my case study. I'm gonna do that tonight, but it seems like it's gonna be a tough one to pick out problems.
That's what I thought too when I read it.
Yeah. But it says that there's a possible technical problem. You guys, what are they?
Technical problems? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it says on the hint. It says there's a technical problem and an organizational problem.
I'm not sure what the technical problem is. Do you guys know?
No.
No idea.
I would say that there are multiple facets of the same problem.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how, because I did write the problems portion of my case study already, I kind of broke it down in various facets of the same problem, which has to do with Brian Collins' request. But I don't know what's technical about it, just that he wants to extend the training, but that opens up a whole can of worms. How long should the training be? And is that really going to get people ready for 80% occupancy from day one? I doubt that.
No.
I don't think that you could possibly do a training that would make it so you could open at full occupancy and still provide perfect service, which is what they strive for from day one.
So let's see some of the questions. It says what is, or I guess it says define competitive advantage, and spend some time understanding the concept. Talk about the working knowledge of a competitive advantage. So I guess specifically, what's the Ritz-Carlton's competitive advantage as a hotel?
Their service, right? The level of service that they offer and that they're known for.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
I thought it was pretty remarkable reading through how they train their employees. I think I've learned more about management from reading this particular study than any of the others. Like good management, I think that they had some really fantastic ideas.
Yeah.
I thought one of the things that was really good, especially for a hotel as exclusive as the Ritz-Carlton, was the way they treated their employees.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I thought that was really important because it's part of their culture, and when you treat people that way, they treat customers that way. I mean, you've been to hotels where, I mean, okay, let me phrase. I've been to hotels where I'm like, oh my gosh, really? It's like pulling teeth to get anything done. You're like, yeah, all I needed was some clean sheets because these were not clean, or some clean towels, and you're stuck drying off with a washcloth or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully.
Real life story right there.
The Travel Lodge.
Well, a Econo Lodge, right, like a Motel 6. Or
What's really bad is when you pay a higher price so that you can get some more service and then you still experience that. That's really bad.
Yeah, that's when it's really not good. Yep. So it says that service can be an elusive concept. What's the essence of the Ritz-Carlton experience? What are some of the things that is different when you go and stay at Ritz-Carlton than when you stay someplace else?
They try to address you by your name, one, and they try to resolve any issues like immediately, not with any kind of delay or sending you to another person, but personally.
Right. What do they do if you stay there more than once or twice?
I think it's
right?
Pillowcase, right?
Monogram your pillowcase.
I think I stayed 5 times or something, but yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought that was good is anybody can resolve your issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like they give everyone, hey, everybody's got the power to get something done, which I thought was good. Instead of, hang on, let me get my manager. Everyone's trained in escalations, and everyone's trained to de-escalate situations, and yeah.
That's definitely helpful. And instead of over there, they actually are expected to escort you to wherever you're looking for.
Right.
That makes a difference, I'm telling you.
It's a huge difference.
What were you say, Jolie?
I was going to say I love their problem management sheet or whatever it was that where they like rated it afterwards, and they kind of rated how the customer started and where they ended, and it kind of went through the whole structure of how they solved the problems. I thought that was pretty fantastic, and I think every company should have something like that. I think that's just brilliant.
Mm-hmm. What did it say, from livid to calm?
Yeah. Yeah, but it also give, like, I'm trying to just leaf through it here, but it also gave, like, is it called LEAD or something like that? Yeah, here it is. So that LEAP, not lead, but LEAP. So they listen, then they empathize, and then they ask for clarification first. So all those things sets up the person to totally come from 10 anger, way down. Once you're listened to, you're ready to hear some good, resolution, even if they're not agreeing with it at first. If they had started with a resolution at the beginning, then they wouldn't get through it as well. And so I think this is just absolute gold for any company. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, if your competitive advantage is service, then you need to make sure that you're doing everything you can to provide that service. And if you're not constantly checking the results, then how do you know you're providing it? And that's
right. Because they said they survey people every 4 months. so they always have up-to-date information.
Was it 4 months or 4 weeks?
Huh?
I thought it was every 4 weeks.
Or do I say every 4 months? Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, every 4 weeks. Yeah, once a month, every 4 weeks. Yes, you're right. So one of the questions here, it says, what are they selling? We're selling service. How does the Ritz create ladies and gentlemen in only 7 days? Yeah, I thought that training process was pretty intense, and I feel like 7 days is a pretty short amount of time for, especially if you're looking to like have the best service.
Yeah, specifically the managers, if you looked at the schedule, the managers come in an hour and a half before they warmly welcome their staff. So they're working a lot of time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really that short if you consider, so they would get training, but if they're, so like if you go on a cruise, your numbers staff to customer is 3 to 1, I think, or something, some crazy number, so you have pretty personal service, and I would imagine that did it give numbers of the ratio of customers to staff members? I'm not sure.
There were 300 rooms and 400 employees total.
So that's
all
close.
the time, but
Yeah, so that wouldn't even make much sense. But I would imagine that their staff to customer ratio, the actual staff that interacts with the customer, must be pretty high. So if they're going at, what is that, a 40% overage at the beginning, staff-wise, that gives them a lot of time to actually grow into their position, and I would imagine that seems sufficient.
So what are some of the things that they do specifically within those 7 days to help transform these new Ritz-Carlton employees?
They do they have them perform their job duties basically.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, they split it up into 2 shifts, and they have people actually serve food and clean rooms and everything. So it's training without actual customers there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, I don't know if it's, maybe I missed it in here, but does the president of the company come out to every opening and help train?
He's there.
he's there, so yeah, I think so. For the first 2 days, I think mainly he, but other people as well, talked about the values and all that, and then they started to train their specific roles in their own departments.
Yeah.
But they talked a lot about what exactly they expected out of their employees and the kind of service that they wanted from day one at the very beginning.
Yeah. Let's see. So he comes out, works with them. Because I remember one part of it didn't like, so it was quoted where somebody was saying that you really pay attention when the president of the company is showing you how to do your job.
Yeah, that was later in the week when he was showing like somebody in the bar or the dining area or whatever.
Right. Let's see. So how would you describe the leadership values of the Ritz-Carlton? And describe the strengths and weaknesses.
I would say there's a certain amount of humility in their leadership style where, if the president, the CEO, is willing to come in and train at very basic level functions, I think that shows the staff that there's not a ridiculous pride that goes along with the positions, that they're all equals and they're all working for the same goals, and I think that's key.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and they treat them like their customers, right?
Yep. I thought that was interesting that they treat their employees like ladies and gentlemen, so that they treat their customers like ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Was that the motto?
I think so, yeah.
What about any weaknesses? Anything you guys can think of?
Nope.
I mean, it's the Ritz-Carlton. I can't really.
Is it weaknesses in their training specifically that you're asking?
It says it's more in describing in leadership and the values of the RITs. It says, is there any weaknesses, or it talks about asks about strengths and weaknesses. I mean, I think you're going to find way more strengths than weaknesses, and that's why they're that successful. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of things they did right. Like they want to all come together and for a common purpose, which is to provide excellent service. But in doing so, they empower their employees, and they even say it is your job to speak up and to tell us what we can do better. And so they give everyone a voice.
Right. Let's see here.
In fact, he even said that people need to have a purpose, and you can't just have them there to fill a position, but like they actually have to have a reason for it.
Right.
Something along those lines.
Yep.
Let's see here. Okay, so do you... Hang on here. So should McBride lengthen the amount of time spent training? Why or why not? I guess, and also keep in mind that this Ritz-Carlton is different than other Ritz-Carltons because you've got permanent residents, don't you, with the condominiums in this same building, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Now, my retention this week has been awful, but so I read part of it earlier and finished it just a little bit ago. Now, does it mention the people who live there? Do they also get all the same amenities if you live in the condominiums?
They can get food delivered to their condos. Okay. I think that's about the only real thing it mentions.
You can order food in? Okay.
Yeah. There was like a separate website where they could order food to their room.
So, what do you guys think? Should they keep it the same, or do you think they should extend it?
I think
Oh, go ahead.
one idea I think that they could do perhaps is that when they hire and then they're finished, that this 7-day momentum is really important, and I think there's something to it, to having a rapid start and then bang, open. If you extend it out too much, you lose that the adrenaline essentially that comes with that. And so I think that the 7 days is important, but perhaps they could, because with every opening there's going to be loss, and if they need those 400 employees for 80% occupancy, perhaps they should add a few more so that when that loss comes, they're not rehiring those people, and then that way they could be even more prepared for the guests at the beginning.
Right.
Just one suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
Go ahead, Emily. You were going to say something.
I was just saying, I think it also depends on the cost. They said that the cost of the training is relatively low, but how much can they afford to extend the training in order to, versus how much more profit will they see if they're able to start with a higher occupancy? They kind of have to weigh those as well.
That's a good point. And that would be hard for us to determine.
Yeah, and we don't know.
I think if they extended it, it should be no more than 10 days. But I agree with Jolie that you lose the excitement the longer you prolong it. And to have them work 10 days in a row seems a little much.
That'd be rough. And then even if you had to give them a day off or whatever, you're going to lose that momentum.
Yeah. So one idea I had was, it's something that I've seen in other businesses, is to have like a test run where you have people coming that are not, they're not customers because they're not paying to be there, but they're like people, they're your guinea pigs, and they're like your soft openings, where you test out your skills on people and then they provide you with feedback as to how you did. And so they could do that for the additional training. So they would treat them as if they were paying guests, but they would be people that were brought in free of charge just to help them evaluate their level of service.
Right.
What about some of those employees with that idea, Rachel? Some of the employees that get that vacation as a perk. That would be kind of cool to perk them out to these new locations.
There you go.
That would be kind of cool.
And they would also be a really good measure for what they were doing right and where there needed to be improvements.
That's a good idea. So you're saying some of their test people could be employees from other locations?
Mm-hmm.
Right, the people that
Really
went
good idea.
the 5 day.
It'd be like a,
I don't know how many days you would do it, but I think that could help because you're not worried about making a bad impression on the public, but you are obviously still going to do your very best because those people are going to go out and talk about it.
right.
So, I don't know. I just think
Yeah.
if people know that the purpose is to evaluate the service and that you're getting up and running, you want them to be honest with the feedback, but they're not going to judge you as harshly because they didn't pay for it. It was free. So, you got just a few extra days or however long that should be, but yeah.
Yep. So is the general consensus that they should keep it the same,
I think.
keep it the way it is?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to change it if it's not doing damage. If
Right.
anything else,
Is it bigger?
I don't know why you would change it if it's working, and if you do change it, I mean, what do you change it to?
Right.
What does 2 extra days give you? What does an extra month give you? I mean, really, what is it? I don't know if there's enough reason to change it, and if you do, you have to try and figure out some reason to do it. But.
And you have a lot of decisions to make. If you extend it, what are you going to do for those days? What's most important? How are you going to reconfigure? It's so many questions.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's just going to raise your costs as well because you're not bringing in income yet, or revenue. So, so what do you think customers have, or what expectations do you think that customers have for a Ritz-Carlton that's just opened up?
The same expectations that one's been open for years and years, I think.
I would agree.
Yeah.
In fact, I would almost think it would be maybe even a little bit better,
Right.
because it's brand new.
There's momentum, as we said, from the training and from all the excitement.
Mm-hmm.
They really did make it like a pep rally excitement type of situation.
Right. How much training? Well, the question, I guess, is it's saying how much training should they do on the job? I don't know. I think that would be, you don't want to be doing, because it's all business, it's all professional. I don't think there should be a lot of on the job.
Isn't that
Not
the
at a
point
Ritz-Carlton.
of this 7-day?
Yeah, I guess that's the point of this. And then it says, do you really want to be learning at the expense of your customers? And the answer is heck no. I mean, especially when, I mean, that's fine for Comfort Inn, but
Not for the rich.
or Little America, which we had the fine pleasure of staying at a couple weeks ago. Yep. That or fall asleep at the wheel or on the side of the road, one of the two. Okay, so why do you guys think that Collins is pushing for a longer time frame?
Maybe he's nervous.
Yeah, I agree. Now, is this the first Ritz-Carlton they've done, or is this the 6th one? Did it say? 'Cause I thought they had a couple of them.
They
Or
have
they
a
were going to be opening more.
They have a contract for them to manage 6, but they didn't specifically say how many were open, except that at the end it says that he is going to be opening one next year. He, as the manager, is going to be moving on and opening a new one next year.
Okay. Because from reading it, I got the feeling this was the first venture that they were doing together, and then they had plans to do more, is kind of what I gathered. And so my first thought was he just isn't familiar with how this stuff works, or how efficient they are at getting their people trained.
Yeah, and it kind of says that he has a right because of the investment that that company has made to give his opinion. And he does have a right to give his opinion, but you're hiring the Ritz-Carlton because they do what they do well.
Exactly.
Let them do what they do.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's like hiring a bodyguard and then telling him how to do his job.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's in essence just opening it's like taking a business that's gone into the ground, then you can make those kind of calls. But when you have a business that's had success, it's doing well, you don't just go in and change what it's done.
Right.
That's pretty ridiculous.
But this general manager specifically had opened multiple stores and been very successful.
Yeah.
So both the business and the manager are very experienced.
Especially with this location. I remember when I was reading through it, I mean, this is Washington, D.C. for crying out loud. I mean, you've got politicians, you've got foreign dignitaries, you've got, lobbyists, and, I mean, it's a tourist destination.
And that may have been his reasoning. He may have thought if you get the President of the United States to come, he wouldn't come stay there, obviously, but let's say he did come, what if they mess up? What if they blow it on this guy because they only had seven days to prepare themselves, which I don't think would happen. I mean, if you let them go for 30 days, the chances of them being lazy and moping around are probably a lot higher than if you just do 7. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The tried and true method, I think it makes no sense to make big changes to it.
Yeah. Last question here. What should $700 million buy in way of influence?
So it's not in a shopping spree. That's what you mean.
No, I think
for a second.
if
Not shopping spree.
I mean, it should maybe buy you a little bit, but I mean, let's be real here. You're buying $700 million in real estate and service. That's what you're buying, and you're buying it for a reason, not so you can come in and jack with it and change it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You had $700 million on the line, you would be smart enough not to mess with the system that's not broken.
He's thinking about what he could lose if they make changes that don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. I guess because this is a little different because you have the condominiums with a Ritz-Carlton.
Yes, it's slightly different.
And is going to add value to the condominiums and
Pushing for higher occupancy, but imagine if they get too many people in there too quick, and then they do mess up.
Right.
Try to push it. It's not smart.
Yep.
This isn't a short-term business plan. This is long-term, right, for the forever foreseeable future. So a few months doesn't make any difference in the long run.
No, I agree.
Yep. Let's see. Okay, so what are some of the things that you took away from this case? I know Julie mentioned earlier about management. Julie, what are some of the things you took away from this? Or Jolie, sorry. Julie.
That's okay. Yeah, I went crazy highlighting all the stuff that they did fantastically. Just their whole planning of how to train their people. Every perspective that they brought up on their training was incredible. I thought that was really phenomenal, especially that leap at the end, that whole outline of how that works. I think that's pretty incredible and applicable to every business.
Yeah. All right, how about everybody else?
I agree with Jolie.
Yeah.
I love what they, in the book they were reading, as far as the team trying to get together and whatnot, on the 5 dysfunctions, it says, in this case study, it says, our employees are taught from the very beginning that there is nothing more exciting than fixing a mistake. I think that's pretty awesome. I hate working for companies that are so defensive that you are nervous to say anything because somebody's going to blow through the ceiling.
Yeah.
It's awesome that you can look for mistakes, fix them, and then get back to work. It's not a big deal. Let's not make a big deal about it. Let's just fix it and keep going. I think that's very powerful.
Yeah, I think that stood out to me as well. And in the training, when people did something wrong, they made notes and then asked the trainers to train them a little bit more in that area. But it wasn't about, like, oh, he did it wrong or he's not catching it. It's more about, hey, this is where we need to do better for training purposes, not for making somebody feel bad or complaining about someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they care about their employees. I think at one point they were talking about advancement for the employees as well, that they provide them with the opportunities for advancement and training. Anything that they need, they're there to give it for them and to them because they realize the value of their employees. Very clear.
Yeah. Well, cool. Any last thoughts? Because that's pretty much it, guys.
Nope.
Well, one other thing I didn't mention before about the 7-day timeline, Collins is like acting like these people have absolutely no experience or something. They may not have worked for the Ritz before, but they all have experience.
Right.
This is not 100% new to them.
It's not like they're hiring people like off the street. Hey, you've never had a job before? Great, come work at the Ritz-Carlton.
I think that's an important distinction because
Yeah.
you have people that were completely green in the service industry. Sure,
Right.
you need more training, but they're not.
Right.
Do we know what Collins' background was? Other than property management?
I think it's property management. Yeah. So.
Yeah, their job fair, by the way, was stinking awesome. The
Yeah.
way they just described the whole thing. I think it probably made everybody feel extra special that if they got an offer that they were special. And I think that was brilliant.
They definitely knew how to fill up the place. I mean, how many did they say applied? 2,700?
Like 1,200 or something?
Mhm.
Was it over
2,700.
2,000? Yeah, it was 1,200 just in one day.
Yeah. Tons, and they only hired
Low labor, that's for sure.
They probably pay pretty well.
They're probably what?
Pay very well for the
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
so that would entice people.
So I looked up really quick just to see what it would cost to go stay there for 3 nights over a weekend.
Mhm.
Depending on the room, this is just a basic room for 3 nights, right around $1,000.
Yeah.
Which,
Well, at the bottom of the case study, there was a chart saying their average cost per night is small,
mhm,
and it was between 200 and 300.
yeah,
That's actually not that bad if you consider it, because I'll tell you what, I pay over $100 for Hampton Inn in Idaho Falls, or not Idaho Falls. What's that big city? Pocatello? No,
It's not big.
Idaho Falls. I guess it's Idaho Falls.
Boise?
Yeah, so that's sad enough. So if it's only twice as much or a little bit more, that's well worth
I'd be willing to pay that.
it.
Oh, okay.
It
I'm
was just
sorry.
me and my wife, but, you know.
Right. No kids.
I just looked it up. It's actually closer to 300. I was mistaken. It was 305, 299, 312, depending on the month. That was the average. So it was closer
A
to
lot of money.
But, something else to note from that as well is that their occupancy rate this is for the year of 2001. January was only 57.2, February 61.3, etc. So it's not like they can fill to 80% at all times anyways.
Right.
So, and for a new hotel and everything. So I think the gradual increase is not a bad thing for that reason as well.
Yeah. I was okay. I was trying to see. I was trying to see what like the suites run, but it won't give you that. You probably just have to give them your card, and you don't have to care about it apparently.
Do not worry about the cost in order to stay there.
Tim, just do the research, quick.
Huh?
Just go out and stay at one real quick. You've got the weekend.
$300.
Go out and do the research. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So, my wife and I went to New York. I had to go out there for business, just like 2 weeks before Christmas last year, and it was so work was paying for our flights and all that, and for a hotel for 3 nights. So we had to find a hotel for 2, and they're like, oh well, you can stay here at the group rate that your work is paying for, and it was $500 a night.
Oh.
I'm like, oh no, we're gonna go find someplace else to go.
$100 a night.
Because it was like right there in Times Square, like 4 blocks south of Times Square, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not forking out $1,000 for 2 nights. No, thanks.
No, that's
Yeah.
a key decision.
I mean, it was a very nice hotel, and it was cool to stay there for 3 nights, but I wasn't about to pay for 2 more.
And that was the group rate. Lovely.
Yeah, that was the group rate.
Well,
So,
there's a
Downtown New York, I guess.
right.
there's a Ritz in Salt Lake, and it's the suite is 1,800 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does it give you a price on it?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
No.
It depends on the nights. You know, weekends are going to be more than your weeknights, but
Yep.
Yeah.
that's crazy. 1,800 square feet. That's huge.
What do you need that big of a room for one night?
Yeah.
That's like the size of like my upstairs in my house.
It makes me think of Home Alone. You know the movie Home Alone? When
Oh
they're
yeah.
family staying in that like huge hotel suite.
Yep.
It has multiple levels and.
That thing had like 20-foot vaulted ceilings and stuff.
Yeah.
When we were in New York, we had to go take our picture in front of that hotel.
That's as close as I've gotten. Home Alone.
Yeah. And the toy store he goes into is no longer there.
Oh, really?
Sad.
Which one is that? That's
What
not the famous one, right? Like Schwartz.
Yeah. What was it called? I forgot the name of it. Because we were looking for it because it's still on some of the maps, but it closed down like a year and a half ago.
I
Wow.
forget the name of it, but it wasn't Anthony Schwartz. It was another one.
Okay.
No, it was something else.
So that room's $1,500 a night.
Whew.
Wow.
Let's all chip in together. I'll go for you guys.
There you go.
I'll let you know.
Then they have like a 3-bedroom suite that's $2,000, and then another 3-bedroom suite with a mountain view for $2,200 a night.
Wow.
This is Salt Lake.
That's right, yeah.
Wow, that's sad.
Up in the mountains.
Sorry, not to like
Yeah.
knock on
I
Utah.
can get a great view of the mountains from my
Oh, it's gorgeous, yeah. If I had $2,000, I'd probably go stay there, but I don't have that for that, so yeah. You're not gonna find me at a Ritz-Carlton.
$1,000 that didn't matter and you didn't have something else to spend it on.
That's right.
It's crazy.
Man, that's crazy. Well,
Oh,
cool, guys.
so I guess that's a no, you guys. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, Joey. You're gonna have to go on your own.
Good try. Good try.
So, something else to bring up. We have one more meeting next week, but we've already all gone twice except Jolie. But when we originally made the schedule, you weren't going to go twice. But it seems since we have a meeting next week, you will.
I will. I'll be happy to.
Okay.
Alright.
So I'm not sure how that happened, except he did say we didn't have to meet this week. But I'd rather talk face to face than send emails anyway.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So great. I'll take care of it next week.
Okay. And then that's our last week. Woohoo!
Yay.
The party.
My family's in town next week, so I'm doing everything that I can this week for next week. So, but I will be at the meeting. So.
There were still things we need
We just have one more case, right?
Yeah, and
Our accountability project. Oh, Jolie, don't judge me. I haven't been filling mine out.
I'm not. I've got your back.
Oh, you're so nice.
for next week, though, you don't have to do a whole case study write-up. You have to answer a bunch of questions. So,
Oh, really?
Yep, a little different. And,
Kind of like last week.
Awesome.
yeah.
Better.
So, hockey something or other for 2004 and 5 when they had a contract negotiations issue. I don't know.
Mm.
I haven't read it yet. That's the gist from the title.
I'll tell you, I won't be sad to not have to write up these big, huge case studies.
Every week it has gotten a little old, but it's been a linear series for sure.
I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I really put a lot of effort into those, and I've only scraped an A maybe like twice.
Really?
Yes, like I mean, they're always like I don't know, however length he wants, like 4 pages or whatever, 3.5 pages. And I've had the rest of them have been all like all B, B minus, maybe B plus.
You just
I'm
gotta
like,
use quotes from books.
Huh?
You just
What
gotta use
kind
quotes from books.
What about the books?
You use quotes from books. Like I just use a quote from like The Speed of Trust and The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. I just use a quote from each of those every time, and he loves it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't read them. He just goes, okay, you've got a quote there, a quote there, a quote there.
Which is too bad.
Because when I put more detail into him, I get a lower grade. So
Really?
he just doesn't want to read them.
What kind of feedback are you guys getting? Because I'm not even getting feedback. So what's your feedback, Tim?
It's been the same. you want to unlive that? No, I'm kidding.
Can you? Let's see. Can I just push on live?
No, I'm totally kidding. Let me see here. Where are?
I'm not getting any feedback. At first, I got some points taken off from not having enough sources to back up what I'm saying. So he wanted me to use outside information to back up my thoughts. And once you use that, for your problems, you have to use something from the case study to back up the fact that it actually is a problem. And then for the solutions, you need to have something to back up why you think that's a proper solution.
Yeah.
Any quote, it seems, will work because I've had A's
I'm
on
not even quoting, though. I'm just using the information from sites. Sometimes I'm bringing things through, but I rarely use quotation marks. I implement the ideas into the paragraphs, and then I just reference them at the bottom of each paragraph. But as long as each paragraph has a different reference, it's not a problem. But I don't know what he's telling you.
Yeah, he wants me to pull stuff from the case. I mean, even though it says cite evidence from the case for each problem you present, which is what I typically do. But maybe I need to get some quotes from the book and stuff like that. So
just a quote for each problem, a quote from the case, and then for each solution, a quote or, like Jolie said, an idea where you cite that you got it from somebody else.
Yeah.
Solution. And you're golden, because I've gotten 100 on pretty much all of them. So, sorry, I'm just telling you that works.
No, I'm asking, so I appreciate your input. Yeah. All right. Well, maybe I can squeak out some A's on these last ones here. Yeah. B+, 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 B+. A couple of A's. B+, 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 B+. So it sounds like the difference between me getting an A and a B+ is I need to just cite
the source
from the book and from the thing. Okay.
I spend a lot of time on it too, but I'm sure you do. It's just that you have to spend that little extra to actually put the source in, and it makes a difference.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. All right. Now I'm really going to go try and put my kids to bed.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thanks for leading the discussion, Tim.
Oh, no problem.
Tim, I'll send you the link so that you can post it on our discussion board. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right. Have a good night, guys. See you next week.
You too. Have fun, guys.
Bye.
Bye.